Today's recipe is an eggplant mixed grill. The USDA recommends that we vary our veggies, so this is a great combination of vegetables for you to try. There's 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons chopped fresh parsley, 2 tablespoons chopped fresh oregano, 2 tablespoons chopped fresh basil, a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, a teaspoon of kosher salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 6 garlic cloves minced, 1 red onion cut into wedges, about half a cup of mushrooms, 1 red pepper and 1 yellow pepper cut into wedges, an eggplant, and asparagus. This is a really easy recipe to put together. You need to start with a zip top bag. We're just going to put all of our ingredients in there. The first thing that we're going to do is 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then we're going to start adding in our freshly chopped herbs. First our parsley, then our oregano. Oregano is really simple, has the leaves on it. If you work backwards from the leaves, just taking those down, and then if you have a small bowl, you simply take your scissors and then just chop inside. And that's an easy way to get your chopped herbs the right size. The next thing we're going to do is add in our fresh basil. Same thing there, except basil leaves are a little bit bigger. What I like to do is kind of scrunch them together, then simply cut and do the same thing. Just cut them right inside the bowl. Now, basil is a very tender herb, and so you want to be sure that if you're chopping it with scissors that you're going to use it fairly quickly because it will begin to bruise and discolor. But we're just going to put that right inside our marinade. The other thing we're going to add in is our tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, our salt and pepper, our garlic clove. Now there are 6 garlic cloves in this recipe, so it's not for the faint of heart. You have to like garlic in order to like this marinade. Get all of that in there. And now just start adding in all of our vegetables. The mushrooms, the onion, the peppers. Then we're going to add in the eggplant and the asparagus. The nice thing about asparagus, if you aren't familiar with asparagus, you don't work with it often, asparagus has kind of a tender spot in its stalk, and that's how you know where to kind of cut it. And so I've left some that are not trimmed. If you just kind of put your thumb and press gently on that stalk, at the point that it really starts to give, that's where you want to trim it to. And so you just take those stalks down. This one you can see is a little bit bigger, but yet the point that it starts to bend is even shorter than the one before. So it's kind of hard to tell. You can't really do it by length. You have to do it by feel and just by pressing your thumb down the stalk. I'm going to put the rest of the veggies in here. As you can tell, you need a great big bag for this recipe because there's a lot of vegetables that go in. Once we have our vegetables in there, we're going to seal it up. Make sure to stir it around, just shake it really well. And then we're going to let this marinate in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. The nice thing about this recipe, like I said, is it does give you a large variety of your vegetables. The USDA recommends that we eat at least 2.5 to 3 cups of vegetables each day. And we need to vary our veggies because we get different vitamins and minerals from each. Our asparagus gives us about 10% of our vitamin C and about 15% of our vitamin A. And it only equates out to about 25 calories for a half-cup serving. So that's a great way that you can get some vitamins and minerals into your diet. And don't forget our onion, even though we think of onions as just adding flavor, because it is part of the vegetable family and it's more of the red onion is from the purple and blue family. Those can actually help with urinary tract and for your memory. So just something as good tasting as this and as simple as this can give you a lot of variety for your money. Now that our vegetables have had a chance to marinate, it's time to put them on the grill. Since we're indoors, we're using just an electric indoor grill. You can do this very easily on an outdoor grill as well. Because we have a lot of smaller vegetables, it might be a good idea to put it into a grill basket. Those you can get at a lot of the different stores right now with the beginning of grilling season. That way your vegetables will stay intact and you're not trying to chase them around and having them fall through grill grates. With ours, since we're indoors, we're just going to simply put them on the grill. The thing that's nice about grilling vegetables is it does give it a lot of different texture. And texture a lot of times is what people like or dislike about certain vegetables. And so with grilling, it keeps it at a tender crisp, which gives it a different texture, a little bit different flavor. Asparagus is a great example of this. I am not a big asparagus fan. However, I love grilled asparagus. It's one of my favorite vegetables, in fact. But I wouldn't like it if it were boiled or maybe even steamed if it was steamed too much. I like my asparagus to still have that tender texture, tender crisp. Try to get down to the bottom and get some of the onions. And the peppers. Once we have our grill layered, we're simply just going to shut the lid and let that cook for about 5 to 6 minutes. No longer than that or it is going to start to get mushy. Same thing on your outdoor grill. You want to make sure that you don't cook it for a really long time. Usually somewhere between 5 to 7 minutes is going to be enough for most of your vegetables. Now granted, potatoes, carrots, the denser vegetables you're going to need to cook longer, but the ones included in our recipe today are going to cook very quickly. I know a lot of people are leery about eating different vegetables. Either they're not used to them, they don't know how to cook them, and so it's really important that you kind of venture out a little bit. Try new recipes, try new vegetables. With summer just around the corner, grills are firing up, farmers markets are opening, and people are getting fresh produce out of their own gardens. This is a great time to vary your veggies. Give a try, get some grilled vegetables, even some grilled fruits. This is a great way to get all of the vitamins and minerals that you need in a day. And it's colorful and good for you. Be sure to come back to the Food Corner, part of newstar.com, for more demonstrations and recipes. And if you have any questions, contact the Pottawatomie County OSU Extension Office. We'd like to send a great thanks to Rock Creek Baptist Church for letting us use their facilities today. And remember, eat better, eat together.